Drums. Drums in the deep.
Hello and welcome to the second installment of Learning About Tabletop Gaming, sponsored by us Game Masters here at RPGclub.net. Our goal is to demystify getting into a game and show you how easy it is, how much fun it can be when you unleash your imagination. My name is Robert. I'm also the Arcane engineer on RPGclub.net and social media, and I'll be your Game Master for today. In future episodes, we'll have other GMs fill this role as we show you a large universe of role-playing games. Now, we all love Dungeons & Dragons here, but there's many choices out there and all of them are fun to play. And we're here to help you find the game that's right for you. Today, we are playing a scenario within the Lord of the Rings role-playing systems by Free League Publishing. This scenario will be played out over 2 sessions and is based primarily on D&D 5e mechanics. But first, let's introduce our heroes for today. If you could each give a brief synopsis of yourself, the character you'll be playing, and what games and systems you're currently running on RPG Club, I would appreciate it. So, Peyton, let's start with you.
I like how you looked over at me. Hi, bud. Wait, I would throw him away. There we go. Hi, I'm Peyton, also the Ginger Dungeon Master. You did great. That was good. Do you have a script? Because that was like, you knocked it out of the park. I don't have a script. I have a few games live right now on RPG Club. All of them are currently full. I do have a small wait list, and I am opening up 2 more games. Probably in December or January. So if you're looking for a game, you can look at the Ginger DM. Come play with me. You can watch me play today. See if you like me, the soothing sounds of my voice. If you'd like to play more in the future, that'd be fantastic. I hope you enjoy.
All right, John, how about you next?
Hi, I'm John. You can find me on all the socials as OG Dice Jockey. I've been GMing for decades. Been with RPG Club for a while now. I do mainly D&D Beyond, D&D stuff, but I am branching out into a little Cthulhu. I've got a One Ring campaign that I'm going to launch pretty soon. So some other stuff in the works. And I've got one-shots to learn how to play the game every Wednesday at 8 o'clock. So check me out.
Thank you, appreciate that. Nate, what about you?
Hey, I'm Nate McCoy. My handle's Hollywood DM. And I normally do D&D like most everybody. That's what they want. I'll do a little bit of everything. So some Deadlands. But I guess mostly I've got 2 games running right now. I'm writing my own supplement at the moment. That's like a campaign setting, which I'm having to retool now for 2024 since that just came out. Thank you, Watsy. But it's like a horror steampunk kind of genre. We still got a couple slots open, but at any rate, I'm mostly D&D. That's what the public wants. Give the public what they want. And today I'm playing the only Hobbit here. Who would have thought?
Oh, all right. Okay, thanks, Nate. Appreciate it. David, you're up next.
Hello, everyone. My name's David, whatever you want to call me. On my socials, you can find me as Actual Play Entertainment. I've got a little Actual Play podcast where we rip off some Cthulhu and Delta Green stuff, which is what I put on RPG Club. I'm pretty new to it, so just getting things going, but got some intro to Delta Green up there. I'm going to get some Cthulhu going. I also love playing Alien and DD. I like playing them all, man. They're pretty fun. So, yeah, find me, see if you like what we do, and get in some games.
All right, who are you playing today?
Oh yeah, sorry, I suppose that part's important. I am Elohir, son of Elgathor, and I am a dude with a big sword who likes to hunt orcs.
Sounds like you're just the kind of Lord of the Rings person we need. All right, Jeremy, you will be next.
Great. Hello, everyone. My name is Jeremy. I am one half of Adventure Engines. I have a buddy. We do an actual play podcast that runs Ironsworn and mix in a bunch of world-building games like The Quiet Year, Microscope, Ithaca in the Cards, Told by Starlight, a bunch of stuff. In a lot of those games, I also run an RPG club. So if you're looking for something a little bit different, a lot of one-shots that I run using very simple systems like Roll for Shoes, Never Stop Blowing Up. But my bread and butter, as probably everybody here knows by now, is Blaze in the Dark. I love that game. I love that game so much.
It's such a good game.
No way. I would never have guessed, Jeremy. I had no idea.
I run long-form Blades in the Dark campaigns that are easy to jump in, drop in, drop out, whatever you need to do to fit your schedule every Thursday. So if you're looking to play scoundrels instead of heroes, check out my games. And I am playing Carl Oakstout, a man of Bree, a warden who carries a big bow and likes to hunt orcs. So I feel like Ella here
we're getting along pretty good, I think.
are going to get along very well.
Sounds good. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, and again, my name is Robert, Arcane Engineer, and I'll be playing the bad guys today on RPG Club. The games that I currently have running, of course, is Lord of the Rings. It's my favorite genre. A lot of D&D 5e, and also looking to get into some aliens too. So I might want to be talking to you here soon about that. But now that the intros are over, let's begin, shall we? The story so far. Halfast Nilberry and Carl's Bad Oakstout, friends living in Bree, have met Elohir, son of Agarthir, known in the wilds as Blade due to his large and very deadly sword. And he is also a good friend of Halfast. Blade is a ranger of the north and has led the other two to just west of the Redhorn Pass of the Misty Mountains, dealing with the occasional orc scout along the way. Blaine, son of Bror, and Thorben, son of Thorson, moved across the Redhorn Pass as a part of a well-armed trade group. They hail from the eastern lands of Erebor and Dale. The five of you have been gathered to help bolster the thinning ranks of the Rangers and other free peoples skilled and strong enough to push back the orcs on the western side of the Misty Mountains. You made the passage quickly in a single day and are all exhausted. To camp in the mountains, would have been suicide at night. Blade tells you all that the Rangers have tracked the orcs and believe they've found their hiding hole. There is a shaft cut down into the darkness of the mountains, and you will begin your descent into that darkness tomorrow morning at first light. So that's where we will start. If you guys can look at the map, the Redhorn Pass is right there. And, of course, you guys are right in the western side of the mountains going up to it. Now, who is going to lead this motley crew into the tunnels?
That's a good
Thorben
question.
would certainly, he would definitely offer.
That would be a lot of choice.
He would definitely offer to lead.
Yeah, Elahir wouldn't he wouldn't mind leading either. He would definitely let you go, but he'd like to be right up at the front.
Okay.
Good. One of you strapping lads can go up there first. I'll just stay behind here then.
Blaine.
All right.
Blaine, friend. Behind me. Accompany me into these tunnels.
I'm with you.
You guys begin to scale the western side of the mountains, and indeed, you do find the hole that the trackers had previously spotted. Tied to a nearby tree is a roughly woven hempen rope that goes up, seemingly up over top of a large boulder. But as you look, there is actually a very precisely cut shaft down into the boulder and into the mountain below, and that is where the hempen rope goes. Make me a perception check, if you would, all of you, please. Okay, that's pretty good. So, Blaine and Halfast at the same time, as you begin to just look over the edge, you see engraved upon the inside of the shaft, kind of spiraling down at very geometrical angles, carven inscriptions.
I'm not sure what that says, actually. Hold on a second. The skill riddle, by the way, is that for something like figuring out possible, like, because it's different than D&D. It's one of the skills I was like, ooh, fascinating. Is that something that might be along the lines of like figuring out like a pattern or something like that, or trying to figure out like, you know?
So, in this game, there are a few new skills. There are a few things that are different than D&D. One of
Hmm.
them is a couple of the skills have been changed, and for one of the new ones you have is riddle. For
Hmm.
example, if you were to try to outsmart an opponent, similar to how Bilbo and Gollum did the riddling sequence, it would be something like that. What you're thinking about is a new skill called Old Lore, which I will allow you to roll on. See if you understand what this is.
Yeah, sure I know. I remember Mom telling me something about that once.
As you look at it, you think for a second, and you remember old Bilbo when he came back from his adventures. Used to tell stories, and you were a fan of them. You remember stories of the light shafts of Khazad-dûm, and that many of them would have inscriptions saying different things. You believe this one says simply over and over, Durin, Lord of Moria, let all light enter here, be blessed.
Yeah. You know, it might be a light shaft. Well, some of you stone-footed fellas might have some kinship to this person here. Think it's Durin's old work. Some sort of, you know, light down under or something like that. I don't know. Kind of peer down the hole for a brief moment and do a spit. See how far it goes.
Not very far. This is, thankfully for your impending descent, it is somewhat slanted at an angle. And as you look up, you feel like this would catch the westering sun as it came over the mountains and set in the west.
What's it smell like in there?
Dank, old air.
Eh, maybe one of you bearded fellows better go first. And I start pulling out some rope, trying to set something up for someone else to go down.
I'll go first, but if I see an orc, you may never see me again.
Blaine, I'll go first. You follow.
Okay, that's probably a better idea.
There's brave folk around here. And I'll go ahead and tie up a knot or whatever and try and help them like anchor it somewhere so that they can traverse down without hopefully falling.
Okay. And there is like I said, the hempen rope you feel like the orcs had used in their prior escapades as they came out and would terrorize the surrounding countryside, if you wish to go that route. Prior to going in, Blaine pulls you all aside and says, Khazad-dûm is dark. Our only hope of success in finding these creatures and putting an end to them is in silence and secrecy. If anything you possess clatters or rattles, leave it behind or silence it somehow. If you have metal shod shoes, put on some leather slippers. We must be silent as the grave in here. For if one gets away, the whole host of Moria will be on our heels.
Are you asking me to take off my armor?
Well, not necessarily, but, you know.
I assure you, friend, it clanks and clanks.
Okay, so you guys are going to descend, yes? Okay.
Yeah, I'll go first. Is it steep? It's a slight decline.
It's fairly steep, probably, good, I don't know, 70 degrees down. I mean, you could scale it fairly easily, but it is utterly dark. Now,
But there's a rope, so there's not like danger of falling or something, or like slipping within reason.
Not in the portion that you can currently see from the top. You don't know how far it goes down, and maybe it just drops away at some point, but not from what
That seems like a red flag. Okay, yeah, let's go.
What is it?
It'll be fine.
All right. For those of you, could you make me an acrobatics or an athletics check? Make sure nobody slips and falls and finds out what really is down below.
Before I go down, I'd like to unsheath my sword just a little bit. If there's orcs within 500 feet, it glows.
Okay. You do so, and it is not currently glowing.
Now I have skill dark for dark business. So does that mean I have advantage on rolls in the dark?
Let me think. I think dark for dark business gives you the ability, one of the few people in the group to
Ruh-roh.
see in the dark.
Yeah. It says something about, well, this is the rules are a little different than the One Ring, so it's still pretty good.
That 9 athletics check isn't looking good for me.
Me and Blaine we got you. We are mighty little. We're mighty
Oh,
boys.
here we go.
Uh-oh.
Maybe I should have asked, what is the order you guys are going down in first?
I think
said-
Belfast is going first.
I said
What? No, I'm going last.
I said I was going to go first, and then I think I said
think-
Blaine because he's my
Yeah.
friend. But if Elo here can see in the dark, perhaps it could be me, Elo here, Blaine, because that kind of makes
It's Blaine that can see in the dark.
Oh, it's Blaine that can see in the
Yeah.
dark. I know that. I know that Blaine can see in the dark. He used to always make fun of me when I walk into trees in the forest.
I would purposely walk you into trees in the forest.
Yeah, absolutely. So then that's perfect then. So then me, Blaine, and then whatever after that. Whatever.
Carl will go down with how fast, make sure that he's okay. He will also stand on the top of this boulder, kind of overlooking this tunnel heading downwards, like bow drawn, arrow at the ready, just in case to kind of cover your descent, at least until you all, kind of leave his vision, just in case something does come up.
Smart. I like that.
Good plan. Solid plan. Okay. You guys begin to descend into the darkness. You guys do not have a torch lit with you currently because you got both hands on the rope. So after about 40 feet, the light of the morning is quickly fading. That is shining down in this shaft a little bit, even though the sun is rising on the east and is coming just barely over the mountains. About maybe 45 seconds from above you, you hear how fast kind of scurry and scramble over the edge. You hear a scream of surprise, and you see him coming down quickly towards you, the three of you, Blaine, Thorben, and I think, who was the third one that went?
Eloy
Eloy.
Here, okay. So how
I'll
fast...
try to grab him.
All right, make me an acrobatics check. See if you can grab him by the scruff before he gets beyond you.
Is there a help action?
Yes, you can help him if you wish.
Okay,
I'll help Blaine if I can. Like maybe hold him to kind of like push him out a little bit further to maybe grab him if the.
All right, that's the
is
second roll. That's
far.
the help roll.
There you
Nice
go.
job.
All right. So, Halfast is screaming down here, literally screaming. After just moments after being told to be quiet, he comes screaming down this dwarven slide, which is what it's turned into for him. You reach up to grab him, and you miss him, but with the help of Blaine,
Thorben.
he kind of just like pushes both your body and his body to opposite ends of the wall, making a barrier. And how fast slams into you, you're barely able to hold on, and you almost, join him in his slide, but you do stop him, and you look, and about 10 feet below you, the shaft ends and opens up into darkness.
Do I hear an echo? Do I hear an echo by any chance?
Yes, you would have heard an echo of how fast screaming, at the top of his lungs as he stopped you with a grunt, or you stopped him with a grunt. You would hear the scream echoing.
I grab the half of them. How fast, you fool of a nilberry! And I put him on the rope.
What? You think Durr would make this a little more hospitable, wouldn't he? Oh.
Don't underestimate dwarves. They're very aerodynamic. Hold on to the rope.
Quiet down, or no second breakfast for you.
Ha! Joke's on you. I've had thirds.
You'll be fourths.
Explains why it was so hard to catch.
Yeah, it does.
Garth is getting a little big. Ooh.
So, as you guys have gotten him back, grip on the rope, how fast your grip on the rope, you are white knuckling it from now on. You will barely let go with one hand, just to barely put it beneath the other as you kind of work your way down. But about 10 feet below where you stopped him, thankfully, it does open up, and one of you chances out you each have a small hooded lantern that you can open up and allow a beam of light to shine in front of you without illuminating too much. And Blaine, no, you were at the bottom, or was it Thorben?
It's me. I would actually probably
Thorben.
kind of look back at Blaine and, friend, can you see down there?
Indeed.
Point down into the hole before I light the lantern. I wouldn't want to light the lantern first. I want to see if maybe he can just see if the bottom is within his view.
I peer down there. How far can I see? What can I see?
After a few moments of trying to study in the darkness, it's even difficult for you. The darkness of this place is kind of heavy. 40 feet, you think? 40 feet more out of the opening of the tunnel, the sun shaft.
All right, about 40 feet.
How much rope do we have?
That's a drop. I only had a 50-footer.
Remainder of not the remainder, but the rope that you suppose the orcs use is hanging here, and it does seem to go the distance as far as you can tell.
Blaine, can you hold on to that rope, secure it? I'll go first.
I wrap it around an arm and steady myself and the rope.
I'm trusting you. No
I got
shenanigans.
I got you. No shenanigans this time.
I rub my hands, grab the rope, kind of drop down the side. What do I need to do?
Whoops.
Uh-oh.
Just kidding.
Whoopsie daisy.
Unless you want to drop. So athletics, please. All right, good enough. With relative ease, you just hand over hand it and go down. You don't even use your legs. This is child's play for you. You do land on the bottom. It is utterly dark except for the very scant light that is coming through the shaft above you. You're in a large space. You can't tell how large.
Oh, kind of like you whisper, yell up. Come on down, Blaine. I can't see a thing.
All right. I'll go down next so I can see for him.
All right. Athletics check from you as well.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
You make it about halfway down and you lose your grip. So if you could roll me 1d8 as you take a hard landing.
Can I try to catch him?
You can. Yes, you can.
Is that athletics? Again?
That would be athletics.
No.
Rolled max.
That's a good roll. Nice.
There you go.
Luckily, your currently blind in the dark friend didn't do much, and you just hear Blaine yell as he comes out of the hole and curses as he comes down, and you just do your best imitation, and you kind of turn your face away and hold your arms, and he lands right on top of you, but pushing the blow, so both of you are only going to take 2 points of damage from that.
Nice.
Crushed in on me.
Good thing you're so soft.
No, you don't need to make. You know that's not true. You don't need to make fun of me.
I just was covering for my slip up there. Shh.
If they probably didn't see it, I won't tell them.
Yeah, that's true. Good point.
We don't want to give. We don't want to give our company a bad name.
Scream wouldn't have given it away.
All right. I love it.
You guys okay? I'm fine.
All good. Everything happened just as planned.
Quiet. Hello here. You would be next. For those of you that have a high enough acrobatic skill, you can also use acrobatics to come down, as well as athletics.
All right, so athletics. I'm a big guy. I hope you can catch me.
Oh. He's coming fast.
Ooh, fast and hard. An 11.
You make it a little bit farther down before you slip. You're only going to take a D4 of damage if you do fall. Does anyone want to try to catch him and soften the blow?
I can take this one. I can cannonball that.
It's my job.
Just don't scream.
Okay.
I'm not a screamer.
I rolled 27.
That's good catching. You put him down.
I rolled another 2, so I stepped out of the way and let Thorben take it again.
You land on me, and I'm like, what is going on?
Three Stooges take Moria. That should be the name of this episode. Okay.
Yeah.
So far, yeah.
I put down a L here.
Everybody but Carl has fallen already. Oh, Thorben, you haven't either.
That's right.
I came here prepared, unlike you two.
Sorry, my hands are sweaty.
Yeah.
Button up.
Yes, you will be next. And then
Oh, here we go again.
acrobatics. So
Oh, he did it this time.
Yes.
he learned his lessons from the first time, and you see him coming down this thing like a snake. Everything is wrapped around the rope. Everything, pinky toes, everything. He
Get to the bottom.
the first one you didn't have to catch, so yay for him.
That
And
wasn't so
all right,
bad, right?
Yeah, he would have been the easiest to catch as well. It's too bad.
I take back what I said. How fast? I apologize.
Thank you. It burns the hands, doesn't it? Oh, kind of dark in there.
Well, you're not supposed to go down quite that fast. Still
Yeah.
impressive.
I'll start to try and light up a torch, or a lantern. I guess you said we had lanterns with bullseyes.
Yes.
Naturally, kind of like I can't see anything.
Let's go ahead and get Carl down first. Carl, could you go ahead and roll on either athletics or acrobatics and see?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I think there's going to be, since he's at the top of the boulder, there will be a shadow that kind of passes over the opening. The little bit of light that you do have is going to be blocked out for a moment as he kind of hops down, grabs that rope, and starts scaling downwards. So we'll see how this goes. Not good.
Oh, here comes
Damn it,
another
Carl.
one.
Yeah.
Here comes another one, Thorben.
I think what you
Thorson.
can't really
Thorben.
see anything because he's blocking, most of the light, but what you hear is like a slip on the stone, and then you hear
This is unbelievable.
a smack of his bow, like basically wood kind of smacking the stone, and then the scrape of his mace, like as he's scrambling, trying to grab anything, trying to grab the rope on the way down. And I'm assuming
You land right in my arms.
Oh,
Yeah.
you cradle me.
Yeah. Well, the good news is we're all in, but
Glad
the bad
everybody
news
made
is everything knows we're in.
Maybe this will
Everybody
be
made it
the
down
biggest-
safely. Corbin, I appreciate the help.
I put you down and I say, don't mention it. I truly.
Just
Not really the job you were signing up for when you came over here, but money's money. Okay, you guys land in here, and it is absolutely pitch black. The only one that can see anything at all, and even barely that, is the dwarf. Somebody was taking out a lantern, yes?
Yeah, I was gonna go ahead and open up. Can't see anything. Kind of like shine it around.
Okay. As you do so, you see something that, first of all, it dazzles you and it surprises you. You pull open the hooded lantern, and a narrow shaft of light comes out, and you shine it around somewhat like a flashlight. As you do this, your light chances upon something attached to a large pillar. This pillar is probably at least as big as your arms outstretched, in diameter. And there's dozens of them. You begin to pan around, there's hundreds of them, and the light begins to hit these. You're not sure if you would call them lamps because they don't appear to give off their own light, but as your light hits these lamps, it begins to ping from lamp to lamp through this incredibly huge hall, this many-pillared hall. And you just see, as you shine around, you'll see these lights just kind of ping, 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 ping. And then it comes from another direction, it pings around. And make me an old lore check. Treasure Hunter, you do it with advantage.
Well, I like that. It's funny one. Look at that.
oh,
Goodness. It's shining all around. Oh, how glorious. Evidently, even with advantage, I did not do very well. Yeah, shit. I rolled a 2 and a 3. Fuck.
Incredible.
Incredibly bad.
Look at it for a second, and unlike the rest of you, who your packs are filled with, provisions, rations, water, things that you're going to need for a long trip through the dark, Howfast appears to have a backpack full of scrolls and documents and a book scribbled on every corner. And he pulls out a cloth map and he looks at it for a second. And he says, we thought they were going into the imperishable hall. The dwarves of old were friendly with the elves of Holland until they fought over a necklace or some such. And he begins to flip through his notebook, and it almost looks like the Grail Diary from, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Says, who can keep track of the ancient feuds of elder folk? And he flips through the book. But there was a dwarf hall of great renown in the western portion of Moria, close to where we are now. Naihi, daughter of Nethi. She was a dwarven queen. She ruled in the west of Moria even after the fall of Dwaradelf itself, and was famed for her pride, until it is whispered that she even defied the commands of King Thrain himself. I believe that is where these orcs will have holed up. It's the biggest hall closest to the western gate. And then he digs in his pack for a second and pulls out a large cloth map and holds it up. Here's the hall. The many-pillared hall of lights, hall of lamps. We are here. We are at the hall of lamps, just inside the western gate. 1, maybe 2 days in, we should find the imperishable hall. And he stuffs his map back in a pack. And he says, we head east as much as possible. Stay on this level. If we go up or down, it is likely we will not find what we seek. And there are many staircases and many dark crevices here.
Well, we're not very good at going down, so that's probably a good thing.
Well, I don't know. Some of you seem very good at going down.
You said that the name of the daughter of the king again? You said it was daughter Nilfree?
It was Nai, Nyi,
NYI, okay.
daughter of Nethi, Nithi, and she was a queen
Okay.
to rule a portion of western Moria after it had fallen, and did so successfully for a while.
Copy that.
Hey, Thorben, I think this hobbit is part dwarf. He knows a lot about our history.
Well, I am a steward, so I do have a sturdy background.
I take back some of the things I said about you.
What did you say? Oh.
Oh, no, nothing.
As he turns around, you notice his shield. You're like, at second glance, it looks like the top or a lid of a pot. You're like, oh my God.
Sir Hobbit,
Yeah.
do you know the way? Are you confident in your ability to assess these ruins and to get us to our destination?
Sure as you think, yes. As far as you know, I'm the most spectacular trailblazer here. I would have expected some of your dwarves maybe to remember, but I've got things written down somewhere around here somewheres.
You're learned.
Yes, I pick up bits and bobbles and information wherever I can. It's the real trick is organizing it, but it's in here somewheres. I prepped for the mission. We're good.
When Halfast says that, you see Carl just like behind him, like kind of roll his eyes, like and nod, like yes, he is correct. The most difficult part is him organizing anything. Yeah, he did, like Carl doesn't say anything. You just see it like on his face.
Yeah.
That he wishes Halfast were a little bit more organized.
Okay.
I trust you, Sir Hobbit. So, if you could perhaps stay near me, guide us on this path.
Oh,
Well, since he has a light, then I will bring up the rear and make sure nothing's sneaking up on us in the dark, since I'm the only one who can see.
Good thought, friend. Protect
Do you
one's
realize
backs.
Durham was actually the smartest dwarf you've ever known? Look at all these mirrors here. Anywhere you shine, it's going to illuminate the whole hall, and it's quite vast. And he's like shining it around from like mirror to mirror, like to kind of show and illustrate.
As he's doing that, everybody make me a perception check if you could.
I don't like that. Okay.
Fool of a took.
I already hit him with that. Can't play it twice.
Oh, we got a 20. Look at him go.
Yep.
Oh.
Somebody showing up. So, as you are shining the light around, Carl, you notice a couple of things that maybe have eluded some of your friends. Maybe low here would have noticed. As he's shining the light around, and these beams of light are pinging from crystal lamp to crystal lamp, these lamps are maybe 8 feet off the ground, not that high. But you've come to notice this is a long, well, it's a very wide hall, but it's a very long hall. You can see the light as it goes to the sides kind of stop fairly quickly after 2 or 3, maybe 4 jumps. But going down the hall, they go for 10, 15, it's hard, you can't even tell. This is a very long, very wide, very long hallway, pillared hallway of some sort. You notice on one side of you, there is a large crack running down through the right-hand side of this hallway. Looks like if the mountain had shifted or something happened and part of the room is actually cracked. But that's all you can tell from this end of the room where you came down out of the ceiling.
Okay. I think I'll point that out. Probably specifically to Blaine, since he's the one who has the best vision down here. Just let him know. There. A crack in the wall. Do you see anything coming from it?
I'll step as close to it as is safe and try to see if I see movement or shadows or anything out of the ordinary.
Make me an investigation roll.
Okay.
I'd like to also draw my sword. While it's unsheathed, allies within 30 feet get advantage on initiative and can't be surprised.
Ooh.
Oh.
I also heard the music crescendo, so I'm going to draw my sword too.
And also that whole glowing thing with orcs within 500 feet.
That's right.
It's a 16 for investigation.
You glance down into this dark crack and you can't see much, but you hear the tinkling of water somewhere from far away. Not a waterfall per se, just something, maybe a small rivulet of water. It doesn't sound like it's very large. The amp coming from down here is damp, and once again, since from the first time you came in here, the darkness almost feels heavy, and you feel, I'm not sure if you can hear it, but you feel as if there's something, maybe even breathing from the far end of this tunnel, this crack, this crevice.
Do you hear that?
I do. And you see Carl, I think he was unarmed up until this point, and he pulls his bow out, nocks an arrow, and has it at the ready. Not drawn, but he has it at the ready. And I think he looks to everybody else to see if, like, are we all together? Are we going to approach slowly, cautiously to investigate?
I'll draw, and
Yeah.
I'll approach quietly as I can to get to probably to the side of Blaine.
Yeah. My hammer axe is out
Mm-hmm.
at the ready.
How fast? You make sure we have light, my friend.
You see the lantern on the ground, and Hallfast is not there.
Okay. Perfect.
I take back what I took back.
So, come up with the lantern, you all draw your weapons. A couple of you notice that the bow that Carl is carrying is a very odd-looking, almost piece of machinery. Is it you, Carl, that has it? I think, I can't remember.
Angnir?
Yep.
The bow of Angnir?
Yes. It looks like two pieces of a bow maybe perhaps have been cut or broken apart and then reattached into something that you could only assume is a dwarven handle, a contraption. And as he notches the arrow, he pulls these 2 rings on his handle, and the arms of the bow themselves relax, very almost lax. And he easily knocks the arrow, and it is in place without him having to hold it. As you come up with the lantern, you shine a beam down there. And again, similar to how you saw in the Hall of Lamps with the light pinging around, it's doing that again. However, it looks like whatever chasm is on the other side is also quite vast and quite deep, because your light is probably pointing down at a very steep angle. about 80 feet, and you see a cavern that seems to have the same type of crystals used in these lamps that were pinging the light around, growing out of the wall in here, and as you shine your light, it pings in random directions. You stop for a second, and the breathing, I'm not sure if it was breathing, it might have been a trick of the wind, but it seems to have stopped. But you can see several of these crystals sticking out of the wall, each of one of them about the size of a large potato, and every time your light hits it, you see it bounce in different directions as it passes over the crystals.
Who's got the lantern?
Was it how fast? No?
You had mentioned that
Yeah.
he was gone and it was sitting on the floor.
If someone else wants to grab it. I mean, his voice kind of comes out from the darkness like, oh, I'm okay. Like that, as you all have your weapons out near this crevice. God damn, fine. I'll come back out of hiding since no one else wants to do it, and I'll grab the lantern with like shaking hands and kind of like show it, like push the light down the thing.
You know, Hobbit, when you run away from us, you may be running at the bad guys, right?
That's true.
Ooh, that's hard to argue. You can't. That's very logical.
How many times have I guided you to safety, Halfast? And I'm not alone. Thorben, Blaine, Elohir. Skilled warriors. Please, stick with us.
Right. Muscle up the courage. Right. Okay. I'm ready. And I like start to go ahead and kind of like, I'm sure one of their hands is kind of slowly pushing me forward as I'm like trying to like hold the light steady and give them a little light to work by.
Okay, make me a perception check if you could. How fast?
Excellent. Eyes of a hawk.
As you are coming out of the shadows to grab the lantern, you look back towards the direction you came from. And you've walked maybe 100 or 150 feet from there, not very far. As you grab your lantern and turn it, your lantern light lands right on what appears to be a small creature in the corner looking straight at the two of you guys. As soon as your light hits it, you hear a hiss coming from that other corner, and you turn around to face it, and you're face to face, for the first time in your life, how fast, with a goblin. You presume it's a scout. You only see one. What would you like to do?
Parlay. That's what he kind of says. And then I go, it's horribly ugly, is what I like look over and say to Thorben and Carl and Blaine.
I'll yell out the Oak Scout. Bring it down.
Yeah, if it's lit up, I will fire my bow quickly. I'm no hesitation here. We've dealt with these sorts of things before, or Carl has anyway. So, can I just make an attack with my bow then?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Because he was not expecting to be seen by. All right.
That's not too bad.
Nice.
There we go.
I believe that
That
hits.
seems pretty good.
Just click the damage button.
Okay.
There we go.
Nice.
Yeah, that should do it. Do I get the sneak attack bonus on this one as well?
You normally would, but you won't need it because this is
Okay. All right.
So you guys see Carl take his bow and immediately wheel it around as soon as Halfest says, "It's so ugly." Releases the two rings on his handle, and the two arms of the bow twang out with incredible force. And you see an arrow streak out from his bow, lance through the goblin that was getting his bow ready to fire at you, and attach him to the stone wall behind him. And he just looks down and almost looks up in amazement, and he just says, and this is typical of every goblin and orc you've ever seen, even with their dying breath, they will defiantly spit insults at you. And he just looks down and he goes, "Granny will get you for that one, she will. Gut you like a fish, she will." And with that, he just kind of slumps forward and slides off the arrow until he falls onto the ground dead. Splat.
Blaine might have looked over his shoulder just to admire the shot, but he would have kept his focus toward the back to make sure that thing was alone.
Yeah. So
Carl
Thorben,
already
like,
has a
after-
second arrow loaded. Like by the time that insult is flung, Carl already has a second arrow bow drawn back. You can hear that clicking noise as it locks into position, and he starts scanning. He knows
Oh,
there
go
are
ahead.
others
Sorry,
out there.
Carl.
Nope, don't go, go, go.
Sorry.
Anybody
Thorben, I'm going to take out. I'm drawn. As soon as he fires, I start moving in the direction of the goblin. I want to go to the goblin's body. If I can.
yeah, you can. It's only about maybe 30 feet away. It's pinned to one of the pillars in this hall. Anybody that is looking for to see if this guy had any friends, make me
yeah.
a hunting roll if you could, and warden if you could make it with advantage because you are in one of your warded lands hunting orcs.
Sorry, what roll is that
roll
again?
did you say? It skipped a sec just for a second.
Perception.
Perception.
Perception? Okay. With advantage.
Ooh, that's a nice shot. You must have been elves can't make a shot like that. What?
I'll stay close to the hobbit.
Okay. All right. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I thought it broke up there. Dropped out for a minute. Okay. As you guys are looking for this, you can easily see this creature's tracks. He was not trying to hide himself. He just had stumbled upon you. It leads in the direction that you have yet to come from, down towards the far end of the hallway. You guys have kind of broken off to the right. You came from behind you, obviously. You haven't explored the left of the hallway at all. He came from the far end of the hallway, the most easterly facing end.
Do we get the impression that breathing that we momentarily heard could have come from it?
It sounded too deep and guttural almost. But seeing the chasm on the other side, you're kind of half not sure if it was a breathing of some creature or just the wind playing tricks blowing through, this massive underground structure.
I bet you it's just some kind of wind heaving and weaving through these cracks and crevices, my friend. You gotta brave up. As I try and get myself all.
It could have
I
been your
wasn't
teeth
scared.
chattering.
Yeah, it must have been someone else. Things are rattling around. I'll say with these.
Okay.
Thorben will start moving towards the direction he came from.
Okay. So you begin to move down this long hallway. You probably go 1,000 yards or maybe even more. It's almost impossible to tell in this dark, even with the light from the lamps, bouncing the lantern light off. It almost plays tricks on you after a while. But you walk about 1,000 yards or so. Finally, you think you're coming to the end of the hallway, and you see a large archway at the end of this hallway, continuing on straight again, mostly easterly as far as you can tell. And that's where you are right now. That's what you see right now. You do not find any more tracks of creatures coming through this area. You're hoping this was just a scout.
Halfling,
Yes.
which direction were we meant to head?
Oh, I pull out my maps and kind of rummage around and try and figure out which direction would be the best way to go to find our quarry.
Okay?
Hunting?
As you take out the map and begin to look over it, everybody else make an insight check for me if you could. So he pulls out his map and lays it on the ground in front of the lantern and begins to examine it and try to trace maps. And he's like, and you see him do something very strange. Thorben, you see this. Blaine, you see this. You see him take out what looks to be a pencil and erase part of the map, brush it off, and then redraw it differently.
I
Oh
blame.
no.
That's better. Yes. Mm-hmm.
What are you doing now, Hobbit?
Well, there's nothing like, eyes on the ground to make sure things are correct.
Well, would you draw with the first time?
Well, my memory, of course, and things my mother said.
It begins to dawn on you that this is not a map of Moria, of Kaza Doom, at all. This is a map that your friend has drawn based on what he has learned and read, and rumors he has heard, and stories that he has been told about Moria.
You would not believe how many people talk at the bar. The Prancing Pony has very interesting peeps running around.
How fast Nilberry? I'm gonna
Yes?
walk up to him. I'm gonna get
Oh,
down on my knee and put my hand on his chest kind of softly.
yeah.
Before we go down into the dark places of the world, you need to communicate that you don't have a real map.
This is a real map. I've really drawn on it. It has real information. And I'll go a step further as to say those drunkards, the more alcohol enters their bloodstream, the truer the information. Did you hear the last one? When that goblin died, he said, Granny will get you. I've already written it down. We've got to look out for this granny lady. She's tough. Tough trouble.
No,
That
it said Granny would get Carl.
Oh, well, I'm going to get Carl while I'm about. Hey, Carl's a good customer. I can't have him dying on my watch.
Carl, how much of this map did you drunkenly draw?
None.
I don't deal in maps. That is firmly within Halfast's skill set. Though I will say this: he has always gotten us home.
Does he usually redraw the map as you go?
One could argue that the maps simply become more accurate when he does so.
Thank you. How many times has anyone gone to Moria, really? Right? You have to go off of a lot of rumor and conjecture.
Of course, they become more accurate when he redraws them. He is there when he redraws them.
Thorben, maybe we should just leave a blood trail to find our way back out.
Ooh, gruesome. Ugh.
I think
Yours.
as you say that, Carl kind of smiles and yes, of course, I'm sorry. Halfast and I generally travel alone. I do keep this with me for such occasions. And you see him pull out a few pieces of chalk. And he does a very dramatic make a large X on one of these pillars to show you that this is basically his workaround that he's come up with just in case. Maybe this will make you feel a little bit more comfortable with the situation if, as we go, we can mark our path. At the very least, allow us to retrace our steps and leave.
I'll make a deal with you. When you run out of chalk, we start bleeding the hobbit.
Deal. He says that way too fast.
You're cut off, my friend. No free half pints for you. While I'm saying that, I'm kind of rifling through the goblins' pack and stuff for any kind of like information, keys, anything that might be helpful in the future.
Okay, investigation, please.
Copy that. Light fingers, light touch. Come on, give me something such.
Nice. You rifle through this creature, and it is disgusting. The only thing that you seem to be able to find that has any meaning to you, or any meaning at all, other than the disgusting clothing, shoddy weaponry, and horrible poison arrows, is he has on his armor an emblem of sorts, and it looks like. At first, it looks like a child's drawing of a bull with horns.
Horns. Must be a different tribe than I was thinking of. Bull with horns.
It's in
Book
red.
Scout, you ever seen this tribe before? And I do the drawing and like kind of hold it over my shoulder for the taller folk to read.
Interesting. Have we ever seen this one before?
You have seen this on some of the raids that have happened on the outside of the mountains. Uh, did these orc bands have come up into the outskirts of villages and caused problems? You don't know what it means, other than you seem to be on the right track.
Right. Yes, we've seen these before in the raids. Killed them. Killed them all. I look forward to killing more of them.
Hmm. Well, I suppose we could do with the crevice, but I mean, he obviously came from that direction. That must be where more are, since we're here to kill, I suppose. Um, I do like me a good mystery, though. I'm like kind of looking at the crevice with longing, but realizing we probably need to go back to traverse where the goblin may have come from.
Okay. If you are trained in old lore, I would like for you to roll on it, please.
You know I am, Moses.
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
Nice.
Hey.
As you find this
Nice.
on this goblin, you look at it and you ask your friends about it, and after a few moments, you take out that same notebook and you begin to flip pages and flip pages,
Hmm.
and you kind of point to a page and hold it up, and you say, "Does it look like this?" And you see a drawing of a creature, a horned creature, wreathed in flame, and you just cover up all but the top of it, all but the head of it, and it looks very similar to the symbol on that goblin's armor.
Almost forgetting the fact, I'm assuming out of character that's a Balrog, but like not really knowing the gravity of the situation. It looks kind of like that, don't it? And then I remove the hand to show the full picture. Yeah, maybe that's it.
You better hope it's not.
Well, fine.
Did you, Sir Nilberry,
Yes.
did you draw that yourself?
Oh, well, I mean, it's a rubbing, right? So I've gotten it from different types of lore, different places.
Where did you gain knowledge of this beast?
I can't remember the name of the dwarf that came by. Thulf? No. Naren? No. I don't remember. It could have been an elf. There's a lot of people coming the prancing pony.
Did they speak to the name?
Bull something? Bull Gorg? Belgorg? I don't know. I can't remember actually. I should have written it down. I was in the middle of a shift.
Blaine would start looking at this picture. You, of course, would realize what it is. The stories of your people that have been passed down through generations know of Durin's Bane and what drove the dwarves from Moria so many ages ago.
It's a Balrog, Nilberry. Balrog. And it drove the entire dwarven race from here.
Blaine, are you saying that that creature there in that book is in these halls now?
I don't know that it's in these halls, but apparently this tribe of goblins sees it, worships it, or maybe they just revere it because it ran the dwarves out of Moria.
Yes. Let's hope for the latter.
If it's here, we won't be for long.
The Balrog. Those are from a different time. That's a different age. I can't imagine they're still alive, right?
I don't know. It's an ageless being, ageless creature.
Do you know this for a fact, Blaine?
No, I don't, but I don't want to find out.
Well, I know that these old tales weigh heavy on you and your people, and I feel for you. But let's not let fear get to our party before we even begin to advance.
Those are smart words.
Well, one thing I do know, if it is somewhere in here, it would be nowhere near this close to the surface.
Well, perfect. Let's hold on to that thought, and let's begin our advance.
Yes. All right. I'll turn around and like once again kind of help out sitting next to Thorin.
Thor.
Corbin?
Thorben. and be the light for him so that he didn't have to hold it.
Okay.
And I'll go wherever direction he got that real good roll, so I assume he's got a pretty good eye on where we're going. So I'll just kind of let him kind of direct me with the light, and I'll stay like one pace in front of Nilberry.
Trying to move silently, but I'm not going to obviously hide. I just want to not make noise. So I'll give you a stealth just so you have it and can do whatever with that. No.
As you guys advance, you come to the large archway. Still, the archway itself the hallway is probably 50 feet wide, so it's very large. Probably 80 feet tall, grand, immaculately carved, although many years of ruin and wear, and there's orc scrawlings on the wall, profane things in their black speech. And as you continue on through the passageway about 100 feet, you come into a very large circular room. And as you look forward, there is a pathway to the left that seems to be going down, a pathway to the right that seems to be going up, and a pathway straight forward. However, unlike the stairways going down and going up, which are carved dwarvish, ruins, the one going straight forward and staying level seems to be a crack in the wall that has opened up into a narrow passageway beyond maybe 5 or 10 feet wide at various points. Once again,
Go ahead. Sorry.
no. Once again, Halfast pulls out his map and looks at it, and says, "We should be going directly east, directly on the level. But this fissure here does not look like something that was put onto the map." And he begins to sit down and scribble on his map yet again. He says, "I may be wrong about the level. We may need to go up. Or was it down one level? Let me think." And he begins to scribble on his map again and be involved in that. What would you guys like to do with this room? The up pathway, the down pathway, leading a stairs of steps, both sides, and then a narrow fissure going straight forward.
Carl, while everyone else is looking around, Carl draws a very large arrow on the floor in his with his chalk that points through the archway we just came through. So that way, wherever we enter this room, we know the arrow points outwards, back to where we came. So that's what he's doing, and it's big. I'm imagining it's probably like 10 feet long and 5 feet wide type thing, very clearly seen, from a distance, even with the limited light that we have.
Okay. All right.
I will pick up the lantern that I assume Halfast put down to examine his map, and or I'll light my own. If I guess I could probably just do that.
You can do that, yeah.
I'll light my own.
Okay.
And I will start walking towards the middle fissure, the one that stays level. Just kind of raising my light towards that and walking slowly towards it.
As you approach, you notice that this is indeed not a carved passageway. Either it was rough-hewn, but it was not like the dwarven ruins that you've seen so far. That you could tell at one point were very, expertly crafted and in much, magnificent shape. This just looks like somebody either hewed a pathway through the wall, or it appeared naturally itself over time. You can't tell. Like everything else, it is utterly dark. As you shine the light down through it, you see it go for about 80 feet, and then it opens up into a larger space, you feel.
I'll look back, see if I can get eyes on Blaine. Get his eye contact or something.
Yeah, he's generally watching back, but he's paying attention to see if he's needed.
I'll get eye contact with you. I'm just going to give you like a nod.
Okay. I tap Ello here and say, watch our back. And I'll go to Thorben. I'll be right back.
I'm going to stay close to Halfast.
Ooh.
You get over there. I'll this isn't of dwarven make. But I wanted to confirm this looks haphazard, rapid, new. I think that if we're trying to hunt goblins, this is the way to go. What do you think?
I would definitely investigate it and see if I can see any evidence of orc or goblin hacking or hewing through this.
Okay, investigation roll, please.
Mhm. Not great. 11.
You come up and look at it. You do believe it was manually created. You don't think it was the mountain settling and the fissure, this tunnel creating naturally. You can't imagine a dwarf would do such a travesty to a mountain like this. If they did, they had the only reason possible must have been they were in a hurry and it was out of desperation. So you feel like orcs or something else, not dwarves, did this.
Yeah, and that's what I would tell Thorben. This is definitely done by hands, and even a dwarven child could do better than this.
Well, I've seen your work. I thought so. Can you I'm gonna drop the bullseye on the lantern to snuff it, and can I steal your eyes in the dark? Can we pace down this pathway to the edge? See
Yeah.
if we can get a look inside of that room.
Yeah, so we'll creep down there as stealthily as we possibly can.
Okay, give me a stealth for both of you, please.
Uh-oh.
I'll double uh-oh.
Ah, go! Look at you.
Oh,
Oh, that's me. Oh,
Yeah,
look at
you
me.
Corbin
you
crushed
rolled
that.
well. I
Look
rolled
at me.
terribly.
Oh my.
So, uncharacteristically, you see Thor kind of wrap his arms around his armor to kind of keep it quiet, and he creeps forward, surprisingly silently. However, the dwarf, just as usual, kind of half stomps his way upwards. As you come to the end of this small cavern, this small passageway, it opens up into a very large cavern. And make me a perception check, both of you.
I can't see anything and I don't have my light out. Should I still roll, like for hearing, perhaps?
Yes, you should.
What the heck was that?
Nothing you need to worry about.
I don't like that, man.
That's a GM secret roll. That's what that is with all the
Secret
question marks on it.
oh, that's pretty slick.
That's intimidating. I don't like that at all.
Yeah, it's very intimidating.
Getting on the other side of that one for a change. Yeah.
I never liked that. Yeah.
So, Blaine, as you are looking into the darkness, and as you are, trying to be quiet, let anything that is going to come across hear you. You look, and your dwarven eyes see two. You are essentially in the center of a very large, massive spiral staircase. You can see areas on both sides going up on this side and down on the other side where the stairways are carven in stone as they go up and down. You are in front of the narrow passageway. You see a small stone footpath that breaches the chasm. No rails at all, probably 5 feet wide. It goes maybe 60 feet across to the other side, and it goes into a small tunnel on the other side. You don't see anything other than that on your level. The stairways and the openings that you see are above you. If you had gone to the right, you feel like you would be taking those stairways up, and if you had gone to the left, you would be taking the other set of stairways down. But as you are looking and trying to get your bearings into what you see, marching up the stairway on the right-hand side, you see what appears to be a dozen small figures. They might be about the size of the thing you killed in the other room, maybe a little bit larger. And they're kind of marching / grumbling / fighting up the stairs. You hear them more so than you see them. And you hear goblin voices amongst them.
So they're on a course to intercept our people up above.
No, well, not yet. They are going out. Right now, you guys are on the level.
Yeah.
Right-hand stairs that are going up, you feel like somewhere up on that, they're going up. They are not coming down the stairs. They're going up away from apparently.
So I just reach back and I touch Thorben just to keep him quiet. And I just, as quietly as possible, shh, and let them pass.
Okay. As you are watching them do so, for a few moments they go kind of past the carven, open stairway that you can see, and they go out of sight behind a wall. And then after several minutes, you see a few of them peel back, come down the stairs towards your direction, and once again disappear once they get on the stairs on the other side of another wall. Those appear like they might be coming towards you, or your group behind you.
Toward the group.
Yes.
So I'll lean back. Back out. Back out. They're going toward the group.
So when he says that, I'll just kind of whisper back, make haste. And I'm going to kind of start running down that crevice back to the group, obviously.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm following right behind him. If he starts to waver or lose sight, I'll steady him with a hand on his back.
Okay. As you come back to the room, these stairways are huge. They're not, unless they're running, they're not gonna. It's gonna take a minute for them to reach you. As you come back and warn the rest of the group, what would you guys like to do? So you presume you have a short amount of time before they get there. You just want to try to hide.
They're coming from when they come, they will come from the right path.
The path going upstairs. Yes.
So I would tell the group when I get back into the room. There's a cadre of 12 goblins encroaching from the right path.
What?
They're coming now. They're going to be here soon, but we have time to prepare.
It's probably less than that. The big group split, and some of them are coming this way.
I'm sorry, you never told me how many there were. Oops.
Yeah, I didn't. You saw the 12. We both saw the 12, but you didn't see how many turned back around. But there's at least a handful. Take cover.
I will quickly and quietly move the lantern that's near me and rush it out to the archway out to the larger room and just leave it on the ground as a lure, and then run back and hide in some shadows somewhere.
Wait, can I, before you go, Nilberry, I'm going to give you my lantern.
Sure.
I'm going to say, when you hear the goblins, hit them with the light.
Wait, but I was going to hide. Oh, God.
You stay back. Just hit them with the light. Trust me.
Right.
So I'll go and try and I'll be at the archway into the room, and then have shutter the lights, and then I guess try and figure out when they're coming through and shine it on them.
Carl, Ella here, you guys are you both? I know that Carl, you have a bow. Ella here, are you like a ranger?
I'm a man of the north or whatever they're called, but I rock the big sword, two-handed sword.
Okay, all right.
I swing many times.
I have a bow.
I swing many times. I like that.
Well then, I would say, dwarves, Blaine, Carl, do you want to stay back? And me and Elo here, we can be on either side of the entryway. We let the goblins in, we attack, Nilberry flashes the light, and we all hit them. Are we agreed?
Yeah. I'll
Yes.
get with Carl in a place where we can shoot from, and I have my my axe right at my knee because I'm gonna fire a shot and charge.
And Blaine, you call the signal. Your dwarf eyes.
The signal is a goblin gets hit in the face with an arrow.
The signal's a scream.
That's a great
Okay.
signal. I love it.
And then I'll go and prepare by the door with, if Elo here agrees, obviously.
Yeah, 100%.
All right. So, you guys set your trap. You get in place. You hide as best as you can at the bottom of the stairway. Make me a perception check, everybody.
Here we go.
Ooh, someone got really good. There it was.
All right. Blaine, once again, with the great perception rolls, you hear them before you see them, but you see them coming down the stairways. The stairways are huge, not tall, but just very wide, very dwarvish. Not very, kind of a short step for a man. But but you hear their flat feet kind of flapping down the stairs, and you kind of give everybody the whispered, warning that the moment is right. Now, if you could, anybody that is going to shoot, go ahead and make me your attack roll, and see if you guys can get this done quietly, or if there's going to be noise.
Are the goblins, are they trying to be stealthy at all, or do they feel they're coming into trouble, or they're just kind of doing their
That's not
thing?
bad.
You get the feeling they're not trying to be stealthy. They're
Right.
they're making enough noise so that all of you can hear them probably by the time they're 20 feet away.
Can I tell how many there are as they approach and I fire?
Uh,
Not great in damage, but
you probably could tell that it sounds like there's 3, maybe 4.
Uh-oh.
Ruh-roh.
I would
Ruh-roh.
I would loose my arrow as they're just getting past Elohir and Thorben,
Perfect.
All right.
but haven't looked to the side and seen them. That's when I would release.
Okay. So, at the same time, several arrows fire off. One of them, rolls a natural 1, I think.
Yeah, my first one was a 1. My next one was a 10 plus 8, so an 18. Yeah, a 9 and an 18.
As 4 arrows fly off, you see the first 2 creatures as they come down the stairs. Blaine kind of snaps his fingers and gives the word, and you see the light from the lantern blare to life and aim straight at the stairs. And you see 4 of them coming around the corner, and immediately they kind of hold up their hands. The light hits their eyes, and the first one, that's the last thing he knows. His hands will end up pinned to his face as an arrow will shoot him straight in the face. He just falls over like a sack of potatoes. The second one doesn't fare much better as 2 arrows hit him, and he goes down. However, the two in back, the last arrow misses the third and fourth one, and they come screaming at you. So what we're going to do now is we are going to enter initiative.
Could me and Elliot, we were waiting by the doors to catch them by surprise. So I was hoping to kind of pincer attack them at the same time that the arrows are fired. Would that have been possible?
Yeah, you can, because I'm assuming you guys would have fired as soon as they came to the bottom of the stairs, not as they were 15 feet away.
No, I waited, as I said, I waited until they passed the 2 of them, at least the front pair, so they could do this pincer move.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, so indeed, yes, you would both get a swing, one from each side.
And then I only fired once purposely because I was going to pick up my axe and charge after that. So my bow is laying next to Carl.
Okay.
Well, someone with 2 attacks, would I be swinging twice?
Yes, you would get a full surprise round because these guys are just coming down the stairs, not aware of you at all, because they rolled a horrible natural 1 on their perception.
Oh, that's too bad.
I got a 14 and a 24.
Yes, that would actually hit twice.
Nice.
So then.
So I know where your minimum damage is, so you're immediately going to take out 1 because these guys do not have many hit points. So with the first couple of swings, Elohir is going to decapitate the one on the right-hand side as he's coming down the stairs. And Thorben, yes, that would have actually killed the last one too. So again, a couple of goblins come in, and quickly and as quietly as possible, you decimate them so that they will not be able to report back. Make an insight check for me.
Everyone?
Yes.
Bread and butter, ladies and gentlemen.
Not my strong suit.
Yeah, same.
Fortunately for you, I happen to be quite a bit of an analyst of human and non-human motivations.
Indeed, you
On
are.
my paper. Is it 20 plus 10?
Just had a 30, jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's insane. Okay.
You know, working at the bar, you get to people's emotions are easy to read.
You get a lot of goblins at the Prancing Pony.
Well, the drunken, human or something like that can act like a goblin from time to time.
Good
Well,
point.
how fast as you are doing this, and you see the just beauty of the way that the orcs were removed from play by your new friends here and your old ones, you immediately pull out your little notebook and you flip through it, and you feel like this was just an advanced scouting type of party. And once again, they are all bearing the same emblem of the bullhorns on their armor, crudely drawn, crudely, scratched on there. All four of them.
Uh,
Your map
okay.
once again, and presumably you go and they tell you about the tunnel and how it, the hewn tunnel and how they saw the end of it. And once again, you scribble out, mark out part of your map and draw it, and tell them, I think we need to go up one level. It's still easterly, but I think we're one level too low.
Well, there's 8 more of them that went up the stairs these 4 came from.
Yeah, this would definitely be like a reconnaissance force. So we should probably continue on and this step up. Yes, I'm almost sure of it.
Only 8? No problem.
And I lean over to Thorben and say, Elo here dropped his first.
I think that your dwarf eyes may be failing you, friend. 'Cause
I hit mine in the face, just like I said I was going to, Thorben.
It was my plan. It was my plan, and it worked beautifully. So I let him go first,
Oh,
courteously.
well, that probably tracks.
Okay.
Pretty sure I missed with my first roll, so I don't know if it's it might be his dwarven eyes.
You did wonderfully. Thank you all for trusting me. We're going to be fine.
Worked out great. I'm like carrying both of the lanterns back over to the group.
Yeah, wonderfully done. No, Barry, you were, believe it or not, a key component of that strategy. Thank you.
Thank you. It's a teamwork, right? And I'll like start to slowly move down the corridor ahead of them towards the upper level. Quietly, I might add.
I go back and recover my bow and I slap Carl on the back. I feel for you, my friend.
Maybe not that quietly.
Carl just shrugs with a little bit of a half smile. Like he's so used to Halfast's shenanigans at this point, it doesn't really faze him anymore. But yeah, he appreciates the sentiment.
All right. So those 4 came from the stairs going up. The rest of the group that broke off from them continued on up the stairway. What would you guys like to do from here?
I'll go ahead and like I rolled kind of crap on my stealth, but I'll go ahead and take the 2 lanterns, leave one at the base of the stairs for the upper level, and go ahead and go up where the goblins came from and try to like take a forward position, try and help out and guide the way or whatever towards the other 8, I guess.
Okay. Make your perception check as you are going up these stairs, leading the way bravely, Mr. Halfling.
Or foolishly, depending on 22.
About halfway up, well, you don't know how long these stairs go up, about 50 feet up the stairs, and indeed they are very broad and flat and kind of thin. They're perfect height for a hobbit legs, to be quite honest with you. Much better than the ones that they have in Bree. Those are too tall. But at about halfway up, you notice there is strung across the ground at right about ankle height a very thin line of some sort.
Hold on there, lads. Slowly set the lantern down as I put my foot back 1 step backwards. Don't worry. Crack the knuckles and then unfurl my little thieves' tools to kind of roll out. And I'll pull out some implements to try and disarm whatever this small little line or trap might be.
All right. Make me an investigation check. See if you can figure out what this is.
Maybe thinking that this is a harefoot or some sort of shenanigans be found by a barnbuckle. Shit. Accidentally rolled again, my bad. 12. Not the best.
You look at it and you can't really tell what it is. It appears to be attached to the wall on the outside of the staircase going up, and the line itself goes into a small hole on the inside wall of the staircase. So it seems to be anchored on the outside, go across, and in a small hole and down.
I look back and I like motion like to the ground, and I say like, with my hand signals to kind of like, first word, I'm like trying to like do it. But once whether or not they got it or not, I'm like, I'll wiggle my hands and then go back to the line and like see if there's a way to kind of like, it's obviously taut, but I want to check along the wall if it's like a trap or if this is just like an alarm, like somewhere else there's bells attached that kind of jingle or some shit, You already did the investigations. I don't know. I don't know. I guess just step over it.
Yeah, good avoidance. Just step over it, hopefully.
Right. I'll go ahead and just like, oh yeah, your chalk idea, and I'll like mark an X on the ground, the step where the line is, so that they know.
Okay. So as you mark on the ground and hold your lantern there so that everybody knows that is where not to step, each one of you comes and crests over the line gingerly and then continues on your way up the stairs. How fast, assuming you're still leading the way, go ahead and make me another perception check. You guys walk up, you feel like you have to have walked vertically up at least 100 feet. You feel like you've walked up 1,000 stairs and your legs are getting tired at this point.
There might be some entrance around here somewhere. Don't you dwarves have like some secret doors that you put? Oh, ha ha! 23.
As you are just saying that, just thinking that, your legs are screaming, and you come up to another kind of landing platform, very similar to the one that you had previously come from, where you had the lefternmost stairs going down, the rightmost passageway of the stairways leading up. This one does not have the carved, passageway in the center. However, it does have in the position where the long hallway that you had previously come from on the floor below you, it has another one of those behind you. And it leads to a long hallway, maybe about 100 feet long. And as you shine your light down there, you see a couple of things immediately. There are doorways on the left and right of the passageway. These doorways, at least the first one that your light hit, has this same, horned symbol scratched onto it.
I'll point it out to Oak Stout and Thorben as well. So one human, one dwarf, and then mention this has got to be the way.
All right. And hopefully your map should have changed there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So you see 5 sets of double doors. 2 on the northern wall, 2 on the southern wall, and 1 at the far end. And that is where we will call it for this evening. So thank you, folks. We're going to leave it right here. We're going to see what happens next week. And this is the end of our first session. Please join us for our next one, where we will see what will happen with our player heroes. Will they capture victory? Will they suckle on the teat of defeat? Or perhaps they won't even make it out of victory at all.
It doesn't sound so bad if that's what happens when you lose.
Yeah. I'm kind of hoping for a loss now.
Yeah. Wow.